Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Not the voice again. Fuck off. How you doing, Trevor? How are you recovering from PAX Australia 2017?
Oh, it's been a couple of weeks now, so I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, that's true. And by the time this goes out, have been quite a few weeks, probably. But this is the first time we're recording post-PAX, so, we're still on a bit of a PAX high. We had a lot of fun meeting all our AGPN folks and seeing some sweet-ass indie games.
Getting followed by sweet-ass indie developers.
Yeah, totally. Hopefully they're listening. Anyway, we're going to play Click Pitch.
Are we?
I think that's what we're starting with, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
That's what
it.
we always start with.
So, Click Pitch. This is a game where we each have a random word generator in front of us, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, click, we'll get a new word, and we will smush those words together, just rub them right up against each other, and come up with a game design. Shall we do it?
Yes, we shall.
That thing. That
3,
game.
2, 1.
2, click. Judgment.
Trouble.
Travel or trouble?
Trouble.
Trouble. Judgment trouble. Well, I mean, you get judged for the trouble that you cause. That's usually, is it a judge game? Are we bringing back fucking Judge Baboon?
I kind of see it as maybe a awesome adaptation of the comic book series Judge Dredd.
Okay.
Some trouble's going down in whatever city it's based in, and Judge Dredd has to go in and judge and execute.
Judge, jury, and execute.
Yep.
Okay, so what can we do that's interesting? I don't know a ton about Judge Dredd. I've seen both movies. The fucking Sly Stallone one and the much superior, who was it?
Carl
Bones. Yeah. Bones from Star Trek. That's all I
I was
remember.
thinking Bones. It's not David Boreanaz.
Well, that's what our game is, though. Our game is Judge Dredd,
Boreanaz,
but
yes. Judge Dredd.
David Boreanaz, and also you're a vampire. It's a vampire Judge Dredd, but he's got a soul.
And there's a level that you're a Muppet.
Totally. It's just this weird fucking Angel Bones Judge Dredd mashup game, and it's a dating sim. No, I don't know. Do you actually have anything for this? Because Judge Dredd game, that's fine. I don't know. Is there something interesting we can do with it though, or is it? There was a like Judge Dredd FPS, wasn't there once? I feel like I remember that. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of you're a police officer who goes around literally murdering people. So it's basically Grand Theft Auto, but you're a police officer. So it's Sleeping Dogs. Weren't you a cop in that? Undercover or something?
Yeah.
No, not Sleeping Dogs. There was another one. Anyway.
Sleeping Dogs, you were an undercover cop.
Oh, you were then. Okay.
Yeah. There was another one, True Crime LA and New York.
Yeah. True Crime. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't actually come up with a game. We've just talked about a ton of other games. But that's fine. Also, yes, there was a Judge Dredd FPS in 2003.
No, it's so old now that it's ready for a remake.
The original Xbox.
Oh, let's click again. That was
Yeah, I think so.
3, 2, 1, click.
It's fine. There's a little bit of reminiscing there about old games. Misuse.
Approving.
Okay.
It's kind of better than the previous word that I had, which was if.
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 It's in this game. There must be some condition that if something happens,
that you misuse if all the time.
or it's a programming game.
Yeah, I was just thinking programming game. It was like you should have used a switch statement there.
Yeah. It's just the only flow control you have is if You don't even have else. You've just got ifs, and you have to write programs with that. No. So what was your word? What was your word? Misuse.
Approving.
Okay. So what are we misusing? What's something that can easily be misused? And is it accidental or on purpose?
I kind of like it being accidental.
Okay. So accidentally misusing something. A bidet.
You drink from it.
Yeah, it's just a water fountain. I'm not sure where the game is. Toothbrush. Maybe it's misusing everything in your bathroom. You just got to find a way to... If you use it in the way it's supposed to be used, you lose the game. So you wash your ass with the toothbrush. And you brush your teeth in the bidet.
I'm seeing this as you play a kid.
All right.
And you have to do things to your approving parents.
Mm-hmm. To them? Okay.
As in, they're looking after you and they see what you're doing and they're always approving of what you're doing. But you can like misuse. Well, yeah, you can misuse the toothbrush. You can misuse all your toys. You can.
Well, I think maybe, yeah. I like the idea of you playing a kid. Maybe it's that you want your parents to keep approving of you, but you also want to get up to mischief and misuse things. So it's a stealth game.
where you stealth play with things that you're not supposed to be playing with.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to stealthily grab the toothbrush and dunk it in the toilet.
You have to stealthily steal the gun to the not the gun, steal the key to the gun cabinet. Please cut that out. And then stealthily shoot watermelons in the backyard with Jimmy, your next door neighbor.
Okay, just don't shoot Jimmy. I don't think we want to. This is a wholesome game of childhood mischief, not childhood murder.
Okay, so it's a BB gun.
Yeah, okay.
You can take his eye out, but you're not going to kill him.
Oh yeah, maiming's fine. There are plenty of childhood maimings that are perfectly wholesome.
Okay.
Who needs two eyes?
Because I like the idea of messing with scale.
Okay.
VR. Everything's just bigger though. So
no, you know what? No, because stealth's got to be hard in VR. How do you do stealth properly in VR?
Well, you're looking around and you see that your parents aren't looking, so that's when you...
Yeah, but you don't have enough situational awareness. As much as I like VR and as much as I like the much overused trope on our show of everything being VR, no, I think it's actually funnier to make this a somewhat traditional stealth
first-person
game.
shooter.
Like you can literally... No, like third person... Fuck off. No, third person, like fucking Metal Gear Solid style. I mean, not Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell. Fucking Splinter Cell style, like going up against cover, peeking around doorways.
No, actually, I like your idea about Metal Gear Solid because I want to have that whole experience of being a kid and hiding in a cardboard box and like going down. Okay,
yeah. Yeah,
going down the hallway, and
we can at least take that aspect. You can, and it's not just cardboard boxes; it's laundry baskets. And what you can do is you can take it.
They see you, and they get the they get the big exclamation point above their head.
What's interesting about using the laundry basket is it's one of those baskets that's actually like got holes in it.
Inside
but because they're your parents and they just think you're like being playful, they pretend that they can't see you. That's part of your strategy.
Little do they know that you've stolen the key to the liquor cabinet.
Yeah, exactly. You're about to get tanked.
Oh, God.
And then we bring back the vomit physics. There we go.
Oh,
we're going to make good use of that technology in our stable of games this year.
Yeah. I quite like the idea of a stealth game where you're a kid just trying to
yeah. Because you can... It makes more sense that you'd be able to fit into fucking air conditioning ducts and bloody split jumps.
Oh, so it's one of those things where you've got the your dad's take your daughter to work day. So
you can you do it in different environments.
Yeah, you get to do it in different environments, and you get to get up to mischief in his office. That's where the air conditioning ducts and stuff like that come in.
Yeah, yeah. And I like the idea that you've still got weapons, but it's like suction cup guns that you can just distract people with, maybe pull pranks or something. But again, you have to get away, right? Like if they see you, you're fucked, because then you'll lose the approval of your parents.
Yeah, but you've got a mission that you got to do at the office. That is, steal 30 paper clips off people's desks.
Yeah, because you want to make a fucking necklace,
a paperclip chain or something like that.
Yeah. It's just these perfectly like innocent kid missions, but you have to get up to mischief to do it.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, it's really fun. What other environments could we do? We could do like out at the park or at the zoo or something.
Oh, the zoo level would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like sneaking between the bars, having to get into the line enclosure.
The lion's den. Make sure you don't get into the gorilla enclosure because they'll shoot Harambe. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't invoke that fucking meme.
No, don't, please. What else can you get involved in? Oh, a theme park. So,
sneak onto rides.
You're trying to sneak onto rides. So you're like looking for like things that you can put in your shoes to lift you up a little bit, and
you have to do things like one of the missions is sneak into the area under the roller coaster so you can catch all the change that falls out of people's pockets so you can buy some fairy floss. Because like you're not actually a criminal, you're not going to steal things from people, but that's sort of finders keepers.
Yeah. Why hasn't this game been made?
Because we hadn't come up with the idea yet, and now it will be. And of course the obvious one is a school level as well.
A pool.
A school, but a pool's good. A pool's good too.
Yeah, because I was thinking with the pool level, you could have like a bear that you could throw into the pool.
Fuck it. Come on. Callbacks. You and your callbacks. All right, let's click again.
I like the idea of a school level too. You got to...
Yeah. Sneak out of class.
Cherry bomb.
Which we've sort of done before, actually, but in the context of this game, there could be some cool stuff.
Basically, then it just turns into Bully. Okay, 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, Bully 2. Maybe they need to make that fucking thing. Forget Red Dead Redemption. Give me Bully 2. Although, also give me Red Dead Redemption 2, because I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, jump.
Quibble.
Quibble?
Yep. Quibble. Quibble.
Quibble.
A slight objection or criticism.
Yeah.
What was your word, sorry?
Jump.
So
you're Mario. But Luigi just has
jump higher.
Well, he just has some real problems. Just some slight problems. Some slight quibbles about your jump technique. Because, Luigi can jump higher, can't he?
Yeah, he can.
Isn't that often the thing? Yeah. So it's a game about Luigi training Mario to jump higher.
Okay. I love the idea about the Mario universe, but there's a very underused character who is like my favorite character in the entire universe.
Is it Birdo?
Nope, Waluigi. So my quibble
I'm pretty sure Birdo gets used even less than Waluigi. Although I did notice Birdo was in like Mario Kart Super NES or something that I fired up on the emulator the other day.
Birdo has been in a main Mario game. Sure, it was only Mario 2, but still Birdo was in the game.
That's true.
Waluigi hasn't actually been in a main game, only in the side games. And that's my quibble with the Nintendo universe.
Okay. So we're saying then that you obviously get to play as Waluigi.
I think so. And your brother, Wario, is heaping shit on you because he at least had a whole heap of different games.
Okay, so there's a bit of a meta thing going on here, that it's actually about the fact that there hasn't been a Waluigi game.
Yeah. And so it's like an RPG to get Nintendo to give Waluigi his own game.
Waluigi a game. Wow. I like this on the Wikipedia page. Latest appearance, Super Mario Odyssey. I was like, for a second, oh, he has been in a major game, and it's got in brackets as a costume. So, which means that there's just a Waluigi costume.
That's so wrong.
So what sort of game? So you said it's an RPG. So is it always? Are you thinking sort of Paper Mario style kind of look thing, or
yeah, I kind of like the idea of the Paper Mario style because Paper Mario is very much meta. Like a lot of the stuff that they actually do, they know it's in a different universe.
Is that too obvious though? Maybe it should be like fucking The Witcher, like that sort of style.
So a full universe that you can
a full open world RPG. Where you play Waluigi. I don't know. Is it set in the Mushroom Kingdom or is it set in fucking Japan? Like, if you're trying to get Nintendo.
Well,
like, I mean, there is precedent now for Nintendo characters to be in like a real life setting.
Yeah, with New Donk City.
New Donk City, yeah.
Although, when you read into what New Donk City actually was, it's the original city where Donkey Kong was, like...
Yeah, but
place.
That doesn't make sense still. Whatever. It's still weird. So maybe it's set in New Donk City. Maybe in this world, that's where Nintendo headquarters is.
Okay, yep.
And, yeah, so what sort of quests do you have? Like, obviously your main quest is get Nintendo to make a Waluigi game. Do you have to do that by like infiltrating Nintendo headquarters and becoming an executive, or are you blackmailing them?
I think what you're trying to do is actually almost set up the story that your game is going to be about. So you're trying to do something cool enough or interesting enough that they'll be like, we should make a game about that. Yeah. So it's maybe a whole heap of different schemes, kind of like how in what was it, Super Mario Land 2, they got the 6 golden coins or whatever it was. Wario went and stole all the coins, and that was his way of getting into the
game.
So you're trying to do bad things, but Wario keeps on taking all the
credit.
All the credit.
All right. So does the game start and you're like in an executive meeting with fucking
No, I think the way it starts is you step out of the go-kart that you've just been racing in.
Right.
And straight away he makes mention to his brother that, you know, how come he's never actually been involved in any of Mario's big missions.
Right. He just gets to like play sports with him.
Yeah.
He just gets brought in. He's like the last person picked for all the sports.
I don't even know whether he's been in Smash Brothers. I think he's just like only been in like Mario Tennis and like Mario Golf.
No, he has been. It looks like he was in Melee. Oh no, he's only a trophy. Oh, he really has been fucked over.
He really has. So it's just the perfect idea to have like this meta game of him talking about all the things that he's been in. And
this has been a bit of a meme lately about Waluigi being fucked over. I had noticed it, so this is perfect. I like it. Yeah, so he pulls up. He's driven. Well, maybe it's like, yeah, he's driven home in his fucking go-kart after another round of Mario Kart,
which he didn't win.
Is Wario in the back? Like, do they still do the double karts, or is that only in Double Dash?
It was only in Double Dash.
Okay. All right. So he's just. That's literally the most recent one I played.
It's on the GameCube, dude.
So he gets out of his go-kart, he steps inside, and you see like all his sports equipment at the front door because that's all he gets to do. And it's actually just this like really lonely scene. Like the first mission is like go to the freezer. Get out a frozen meal for one.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's basically Heavy Rain at the start.
Yeah. Put it in the microwave. Turn the TV on. Fucking Mario is on the TV fighting Wario. Fighting
Wario or Donkey Kong or Bowser. And
or maybe it's just, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just that it's like E-News and there's coverage of a party going on and fucking everybody else is there.
Even Rosalina.
Yeah, and he's just like, wow, Rosalina's there too. Oh my god, even fucking Rosalina. Like the smallest characters. There's a fucking like Hammer brother.
There's a shy guy.
There's a shy guy there. It's like, yeah.
There's Bowser Jr. and all the other Bowser children.
Yeah,
Iggy
they're
Cooper
all there.
and all them.
They're all fucking there. And so he like goes to bed and he has some like nightmare with, you know, it's the classic thing with all the faces like surrounding him and telling him he's never going to amount to anything. He's never going to get his own game.
Like even Luigi had Luigi's Mansion and Super Luigi Brothers and a few other things for the Wii and the Wii U. So
his fucking alternate dimension brother, or however the fuck that works. The good version of him.
and he wakes up and goes, "Where's Super Wario Brothers?"
Yeah, even if he doesn't get to have his name in the title, he'd at least be in Super Wario Brothers as a playable character.
So he tries to get his brother into the idea of going on an adventure, Thelma and Louise style.
Okay. And yeah, so I guess the rest of the game then is just you're sort of trying to do something big and bad enough that they'll make a game about it.
Yeah. And so some of the missions are like, you know, go sneak into Peach's castle and steal these coins and that sort of stuff. And you break in there and no one even cares that you've taken it, or they blame it on someone else.
Yeah, like fucking Bowser gets the credit because it's just like he's just trying to kidnap Peach again.
So I kind of like the idea that it's very meta, continually talking about how, you know, he wants to be as big and bad as his brother, so he's gone to his brother for advice and
yeah.
It could be really awesome. I really love that visual of him going home and taking the frozen meal for one out of the
totally.
out of the freezer. It's just, you know, press X to turn on the microwave.
So maybe though then the sort of end game or at least like the main scheme is he actually teams up with Peach, and because she's sick of, like, she's at least had one or two games and she's often playable, but she's sick of being kidnapped. She's sick of being the damsel. So they make a plan for him to kidnap Mario. So Peach has to save him.
Didn't that already happen in like the
probably
Super Peach or whatever it was?
I think it probably did, but then that game turned out to be all about her fucking emotions and was sexist as hell. So
yeah,
she wants a proper game as well, and he wants to be the villain. So they team up. And listen, like, Peach has been kidnapped fucking 11 times or whatever, so Mario can get kidnapped again, if that's what happens. But this time she'll have some fucking proper moves, and not just, like, cry and make things happen with her tears.
I kind of wish that this was
mad.
This is one of those, like, Coen brother caper sort of things, that things just go wrong. Like,
yeah, okay.
Like, they actually kidnap Mario and they accidentally kill him. And it's sort of like the rest of it is them having to sort of weekend at Bernie's him.
Or like they kidnap Mario, or what they think is Mario, but when they take the bag off his head, it was actually Wario, because like they look pretty similar from, you know, in the dark. Or yeah, they kill Mario, but then they have to dress Wario up as Mario. and he has to pass as Mario. Oh my god, I love this idea. It's an alternate
universe, and I love it.
That's fucking brilliant. Yeah, that's really funny.
It's definitely going to go the Coen route. That to me is like the most awesome part.
Yeah,
okay.
All right, yeah.
We'll leave it at that. 3, 2, 1.
Burn after leaping. Okay. Buffer.
Amendment.
Buffer and amendment. So you play a janitor.
Okay.
in the White House.
Yep.
Didn't we already do a game where you had to buff? Oh, that was the basketball game. See, this is what happens when you get up to episode 40, whatever this ends up being, or 50 or something. Speaking of buffers, that's the problem. I don't know what episode we're going to release this as. Is we've had so many ideas that every time I come up with an idea, I'm like, oh, where did I move on? Anyway,
But you know what? If we do come up with the same idea again,
it's fine. It won't be
it's okay.
exactly the same.
It'll be different. We don't always come up with the same jokes.
Yeah. So you're a janitor in the White House, and you have to use your floor buffer to prevent an amendment to the Constitution from passing.
Okay, what's the amendment?
It's going to allow Donald Trump to have endless terms. No term limit. It's going to remove term limits and also remove elections. So...
So that's really the
they
amendment
just slipped that in there.
It's really the amendment that you want definitely not to go through.
Exactly.
So how are you a janitor /
So it's kind of like Hitman. But instead of killing people, you have to buff the floors so that whenever any of the Republicans, because of course they're the ones who are going to pass this, head towards, I don't know, I don't fucking know how the White House works, but like head towards wherever they have to vote for this thing, you need to like make them slip and fall into a dumpster and then lock it, or like fall out a window safely into a plant, but then lock them out of the place. And I guess this doesn't happen in the White House. I guess this probably happens in Congress, but whatever. Wherever they do those vote things on amendments. Yeah, that's basically my idea. What do you think about it, Trevor?
God. It's too political. Click again.
All right. Clear.
3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, I already clicked. Clear.
Exhibit. So it's a game about the end of PAX, where you're clearing away the exhibition floor.
All right. So it uses the destruction physics from Red Faction. And you just get a sledgehammer and you get to like take down the whole PAX show floor. Just lights crashing.
It's like the intro video is the last person leaving and the door closes and everyone just pulls out sledgehammers and just goes to town.
No, it's just, oh yeah, okay. It's multiplayer. So the last person leaves. The 4 people who are hidden in there, hiding inside booths.
4? I'm thinking it's all the exhibition.
Oh, okay.
Exhibition badge holders, and you're just running around just smashing the crap out of all
I was thinking like single screen or something, but you're thinking online.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 100 people. You're all dropped into the PAX show floor.
You all start in the center in a circle. And
Yeah.
reverse PUBG.
And there's a bear. No.
Gets dropped into the center from helicopter.
What was yours? Exhibition.
Yep. Exhibit.
Maybe exhibit. Oh, exhibit. Oh, all right. Because when I heard clear, I thought of a defibrillator. And so I was thinking you play a medic or a doctor.
Who's an exhibitionist.
How would that work?
So you're a medic who only likes to help people in massive company. So if you just see a body on the ground, you're not going to help them.
Oh, so it's not exhibitionist as in you like to like show off your junk. It's just that there has to be enough people around for you to
show off your skills.
Show off your skills at bringing someone back from their heart having stopped. So how does that work? So there's someone. All right. So let's set the scene. Is it a VR game? I feel like using defibrillators should be a VR game.
Okay.
It's a VR game. You fade up from black. there's a person on the ground.
And you've got to try and get a crowd happy
there's
around
like,
it so that you can actually do it.
the
you got performance anxiety unless there's...
the wife of this guy on the ground is like saying, come on, like, you got to save him. And you look around and there's no one else there. And you're just like, can we get a few more people to watch? And she's like, what are you talking about?
Come on, cheer. Go.
Just yell louder. Look, your husband's dying here. Scream a bit more. Get people to come over and see what's happening. We need some rubberneckers. You drag him over next to the highway.
It's just not doing it for me. All these cars are going too quick.
I can only orgasm. No. I can only orgasm when resuscitating people in front of at least 13 people.
And they've got to be real people, not AI.
What? As in, like, people online?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. All right. That's terrible. Let's click again.
Okay.
Hierarchy.
Honesty,
hierarchy. I think this might be another game where you're a kid.
Yep.
But in class. Or maybe you're the teacher. And it's sort of a game about being able to tell when your students are lying to you. And you've got a particularly special way of keeping track and disciplining these children, and that's the honesty hierarchy. Whoever's been the most honest is boss of the class.
Oh, God.
And they get to tell everyone underneath them what to do. But the thing is, like, if they lie about anything, then they get dropped down.
How the hell is that going to work as a game? Okay, honesty hierarchy. You play a police officer in internal affairs.
Okay.
So you're looking for all the honest cops.
Yes,
because
they're in the minority.
In this particular precinct, yes, they are. So you're out there analysing, trying to look for signs of people, taking bribes and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Maybe you can be an undercover internal affairs police officer.
Yep. So you're pretending to be a crooked cop?
Yeah, and seeing who else is crooked around this precinct.
Mm-hmm. So what sort of game are we talking?
It's kind of an action stealth game.
Okay.
I know that, those two don't kind of go hand in hand, but
no,
you're stealthily trying to report on, the goings on.
Mm. So there's things like you have to like report back to your handler without anyone seeing you.
Yep. Reporting back to the handler, reporting at the end of each sort of mission, there may be sometimes that you can see something going on, or sometimes you're never going to be able to see something going on because there may not be someone there, and you're looking for almost a mole in the in the police department.
Because what could be interesting is you're undercover as a crooked cop, so you're doing some pretty bad things, and maybe to the level of like just full on criminal cops, and so you're doing a drug deal, or like you're dealing with.
You bust a drug deal.
You bust a drug deal, and the drug dealer pays you all off. But the stealth aspect comes in is you have to like plant a wire on him or something, like plant a microphone on that drug dealer so that the actual good cops can then get evidence to, or at least like track them to bust them for real or something.
Cool.
Or, even to the point of something goes wrong and you're in a shootout and the other cops are just like fucking, they're shooting to kill, but you have to do things like shoot to maim. Maiming is a theme in this episode. But yeah, like you have to shoot him in the foot to bring him down but not kill him because you're a good cop.
You shoot one in the knee.
That would actually be more interesting if you were a undercover cop just in a criminal organization. But we can go with the internal affairs thing.
Yeah.
Because it can work there too. Because those cops are basically criminals. In this case. In this case. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. Sure, we should move on to our other segment then.
Oh, forgot about my other segment.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring back an old favourite of ours. Don't know whether any of you guys like it.
I think we did it once.
Or twice.
Maybe twice.
Unnecessary game remakes.
Yeah. So
yeah, you explain this one.
Well, I was going to say we don't actually have a nice little tagline for this because we've only done it once or twice. But basically, we take games that are, relatively old, 10, 20 years old, and we figure out what a sequel in sort of for modern consoles or for the modern era would look like in sort of today's standards around games. So, Trevor, you said that you had one to start us off.
Space Quest.
Ooh, one of my favorite series.
I know.
Okay.
I thought this is a perfect time to bring up one of our favorite genres.
Point and click adventures. I do love point and click adventures. Although, so a couple points here. One, there was a Kickstarter about fucking 4 years ago now that I backed from the two guys from Andromeda who made the Space Quest series to make a new game and still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting on that.
So anyway, that's one thing. Two, point and click adventures, I guess they're kind of coming back a little bit, but my first thought was that if they did a remake of or a sequel to Star Wars, I literally have said Star Trek and Star Wars instead of Space Quest. It's this bad whiskey, man. If they did a sequel to Space Quest, they would totally fuck it up and make it not a point and click adventure.
Yeah, that was my fear as well.
So, do we want to explore what it would be like if they did it right, or do we want to explore what they would probably do, which is fuck it up completely and make it some like third-person action thing, like they tried to do with the Leisure Suit Larry games?
Oh, like they tried to do with Space Quest 7. That it don't know whether you read about that.
No.
They actually did try to do that and turn it into like an arcade action game, and it was like, oh god.
Well, there you go. My point exactly.
Which is why they decided not to actually go along with it.
I have two words for you to explain.
Mm-hmm.
The 2017 Space Quest game. Buckazoid boxes. Pay real money. Get boxes full of Buckazoids. You might unlock a fucking Orat on a stick. There's a deep cut.
God.
Can't believe I pulled that. All right, so
did you ever do the puzzle that you ended up having to use the Orat on a stick? It was a usable item.
No. Maybe.
So
I'm just
in Space Quest 3, you could get an Orat on a stick.
Yeah.
And normally when people try to kill the Arnie bot thing, they would go up the robot to the very top and push the pulley and blah 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 blah.
Push the pulley, yes.
If you remember the screen where you went into like a little overhang thing where there was like pods on the ceiling, if you went behind it, the Arnie bot would actually walk under the pods, get eaten up by that, and then you had to use the Orat on a stick to actually pick up the invisibility.
Oh, I think I do remember that, and also I'm looking at it on spacequest.wikia.com, and yes, that is a thing.
So even deeper cut.
Well done. So you
I
play?
love the Space Quest games as well. So
I know they're fucking awesome. Do you play Roger Wilco?
Yes.
All right.
So I think we don't go with Space Quest 10, Latex Babes of Vestros, or Space Quest 12, Vohel's Revenge.
Yeah.
But we go with like either 11 or 12, so it's in between. those two from Space Quest 4.
Right. So you're trying to just think of the timeline.
Yeah.
All right. So Space Quest 11.
Yep.
We're so tired. No.
So very tired. So I think it's many years later after, Space Quest 6 where he got taken back to being a janitor. He's finally sort of...
I need to play these fucking games again. It's been a long time.
It has. It's such a good idea.
Yeah. So he was back to being a janitor on like a space station or something?
Yeah, in Space Quest 6 he was on the Deep Space 86.
Oh, yeah.
So he was a janitor again. I think you got to remain a janitor. So he still hasn't gone forward in his life.
Maybe you're head janitor.
Okay, so you've got a promotion.
You got a promotion to head janitor.
Head janitor, you're literally
you get to clean
of the janitorial department, but there's only one guy underneath you.
And you get to clean all the heads in jars.
As in the Johns, the toilets.
No, I just meant like Futurama-style heads in jars.
Okay, so I reckon the pirates of Pestilon, they come back.
Okay.
So Scumsofter have basically come back into the mix.
Yep. So wait, are we doing this as a point and click, or is this the story for the terrible third-person action adventure where you
it's got to be
point
and click because it's part of the same series.
Okay. So this is the good one.
This is the good one. Beatrice is back in your life.
Yep.
After whatever happened.
Did she dump you in 6?
She disappeared in 6, basically. She was talked about in 4. She appeared in 5 and then disappeared.
5,
6.
you got together with her in 5, didn't you?
Yeah.
Roger did.
She nearly got killed in there.
Welcome to Bitstorm, the Space Quest fan cast, where we try to vaguely remember the plot for all 6 Space Quest games.
Including the barely played Space Quest 1 VGA version.
I liked that. I liked that they did all those VGA ones. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay, so with current graphics today, what do you reckon they'd actually do with that?
Yeah, well, is it what they would do or what I'd want them to do? Because...
So, what I'd want them to do is like a cell-shaded...
Yeah.
Almost like a full-on cartoon, but with all the point and click.
I have a soft spot for 2D point and click, and particularly the sort of the realm of nicely animated 2D point and click, like kind of Curse of Monkey Island.
I'm not talking about 3D cell shading. I'm talking about like, I'm trying to think of exactly how I'm trying to.
Well, cell shading I think implies 3D.
Okay.
So you just mean cell animated, like classically animated.
Cell animated, but it's almost like a Disney cartoon in a game.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I agree. I would like a nicely hand animated 2D high resolution Space Quest game.
Yeah. So
That'd
we're
be
talking
awesome.
4K.
Fuck yeah, man! Got to throw a huge budget at it. Hire professional Disney animators.
Hell yeah! Great voice acting.
Yeah, bloody bring back Gary Owens from the dead to narrate again because he was pretty good in Space Quest 6.
He was freaking amazing. Meanwhile, I kind of like the idea of. I mean, one of my favorite games growing up was Space Quest 4 with the time
travel.
And all that
yeah,
sort of stuff.
that was one of the best ones, definitely.
So I'd like to spend a little bit of time with the Time Police again, except this time you're working alongside them.
Okay. Oh, that could be fun. You go on a ride along with the Time Police.
And
obviously just fuck things up
sort of-
totally. Maybe you like go into the past instead.
Yeah, and you
didn't do much of that in Space Quest 4. You went back to Space Quest 1, but that was about it. But maybe you like change the future in some way because you're a fucking bumbling janitor. You go on this ride along with the Time Police, and you fucking change the bloody timeline.
Yes, and and because you've changed the timeline, your son no longer exists. So Space Quest 4 could never actually happen.
Oh, right. So you create a paradox.
Yeah, and so the rest of your time is literally you fucking something up back then, bring Scumsoft back because you never actually beat them, which meant that the two guys from Andromeda were still in prison, and you kind of screwed up all the timelines, and everything's kind of.
But interestingly enough, you're also the president. Roger is the president. Like, he gets back to the future, the present, and all the good things he thought he'd done to make the world a better place haven't happened. Yep. And yeah, sure, it's a total shit show, and Scumsoft is running the place, and they're like the only corporation that exists, and you're their puppet. But also, you got unlimited drugs and money and whatever you want, and you're the president. So, and Roger's a pretty selfish guy. I think there's be a real dilemma for him of whether he should fix this or not. Beatrice is dead, or like a slave. I don't know. But he's still not sure.
So, what do you think is actually being changed in Space Quest 1?
So are we going back? So you go back to before Space Quest 1 and change everything?
I think something's got to happen in Space Quest 1. Like,
so maybe you go back to Space Quest 1 and change something there.
Yeah, that inadvertently,
Well, maybe you like are trying to do good, and you stop the Sarians from invading the ship at all at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, that could actually be kind of cool. And so it turns out that the Aurat on Corona was like Aurat Hitler.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just trying to see how he leads an uprising on Corona that eventually helps take over some of the galaxy, and some horrible war crimes happen.
All right. So the Sarians never board the Arcada. Yes, I'm on Wikipedia. I didn't remember that.
I'm not.
I can't believe you pulled Corona. Jesus. You stop the Sarian. You get that somehow I don't know. What do? You literally like lose your mop when the time police go back to that point, and it flies into the engine of the Sarian ship, blows it up before they can take over the Arcada and steal the star generator.
Yep.
Because you didn't kill the Aurat on Corona, it leads an uprising of its Aurat brethren.
Yep.
Takes over that section of the galaxy. Teams up with Scumsoft.
And Vohall.
They're just all in this. It's like the fucking Sinister Six.
Yeah.
We'll throw in a few more. We'll figure out some other villains. Who else was there? What other villains were there? I don't know.
I mean, the Time Police were villains, but they're now the good guys.
Yeah, now they're good guys. Now they're good guys.
Oh, what else have you got?
Rames T. Quirk. Sharpay is the villain from number 6, apparently.
Yeah, Sharpay was kind of a horrible villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of...
And that stupid rat that always beat you up and stole the whatever it was in Space Quest 3 at the very beginning. Fuck that guy.
The wires.
Do you know? So that spoilers, but the solution to that puzzle is you go back and you get the wires again.
That's the power box or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever.
But if you get the wires, if you actually get the wires before that happens, he takes the wires and then you can't get them back.
Really, it's a bug.
So,
it's actually no return sort of thing. Anyway. I was stuck on that puzzle for fucking ever as like a bloody, 8-year-old?
Yeah, it was 88, so yeah.
89 it says.
Oh, was it? 89. God, I love
the puzzle is to just do it again, and this time it doesn't fucking take it. Yep. Like, fuck you, game.
Oh, look, Sierra had a lot of those.
I know.
Leisure Suit Larry 2 is the worst. You can screw up something at the very start.
I remember one of the King's Quest games had that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, We've been going on this for a long time. But hey, we love Space Quest. Space Quest is awesome. So I'm sorry, listeners, if you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But this is what we're doing. So all those villains come together. They've taken over the world. Somehow you became president.
Yep.
Because they're just using you, of course, as their puppet. It's because you're likable, sort of. And, well,
you're a bumbling hero.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you're likable and you're useless. Like, you're not a threat to anybody. So they use you to put on the front that you're, to all the enemies of this nation now of planets or whatever.
International conglomeration, if it were.
Yeah, this conglomeration. The conglog. That's what they call it. This conglomeration of planets. Conglop. There you go. As head of the conglop, all your enemies are just like, whatever, they're no threat. Whereas behind the scenes, all these bad guys are working for power. So yeah, I like that. So how do you win? How does this end?
Well, kind of like how all of them sort of end.
Yeah.
You bumble your way through.
Right.
Literally.
So obviously you figure out what's happening. Do you end up going back and fixing things so that the timeline is fixed?
You've actually you've actually watched the movie Butterfly Effect?
Yes.
So I'm thinking like that. You come back into time and you don't know what's actually changed.
So it's not time travel like Back to the Future where there are multiple versions of you.
No, I think it's time travel like Butterfly Effect.
Which I think it kind of was.
Changed.
It kind of was because did you ever run into yourself in Space Quest 4? I don't think so.
No, not that I know of.
No, I think it was more people would mistake you for the Roger of that time, but yeah. Anyway,
if you played Space Quest 1 VGA and you disappeared, you saw the time ship come on Corona, if you remember.
That's true. That's right. Yes.
As you flew off.
Yeah.
So that's probably why you couldn't actually run into yourself there.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else you go back in time trying to stop yourself, and maybe you can see some of the early adventures that were never really talked about. Obviously there was something that happened early on before the Saurian encounter.
Right.
But pretty much, if you stop the Saurians from being destroyed, then something else that happens there, causes something else to happen, and you could have different futures that you go through.
Okay. So you right. So you go back and try to stop it, and something else happens, and you go back and it. So yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, of course. Like one of them is just like your perfect life, and you're married to Beatrice, and you've got like 3 amazing children, but then there's something horrible. It's that whole Simpsons thing of there's no donuts. And then after you leave,
it's like, it's raining again.
Yeah.
It's just raining donuts.
Something like that. Mops don't exist. I don't
know. Yeah, I like it.
I can't believe we talk about future possible Space Quest for 20 minutes, but it was fun. I really do want to go back and replay them all now. I'm gonna pull out fucking Scum VM or something. Does that play those? I think they managed.
Plays all but 6, I think.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not surprised. 6 was at that time in Sierra where they put out really flimsy, buggy games, so I'm not surprised they couldn't get that working. I remember that game being really buggy. Anyway, I guess we're going to end it there.
No, I reckon you should just quickly do one.
All right. I don't have anything prepared. So I'm going to think of a random game that I played when I was a kid.
And it can't be Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure because
we already did that. We already did. But it's probably going to be a platformer because that was one of my...
Feel free for it to be anything from Apogee.
Yeah, maybe. Although, and we've talked about this before, but I don't think we've done it as a game. Captain Comic.
I knew that was coming.
So for those who don't know, this was a game that was basically one of the very early platformers on PC that managed to get sort of, nice, quick movement and stuff on PC. So I'm thinking modern reboot of Captain Comic. What the fuck happened in Captain Comic? I know. So you sort of shot out weird balls of plasma, and as you went along, you'd get things like jumping boots. You got a corkscrew, which made those weird balls of plasma like go up and down.
You get a teleporting wand.
You got a teleporting wand. So yeah, like
that was so much fun just to go.
yeah. You get through the level super quick. So yeah, we got to bring all that shit back, but it's now obviously, probably a sort of 3D platformer, like
a la Mario 64.
Yeah, but
Captain Comic 64.
It feels darker than that, though, right? Like Captain Comic, it wasn't a very bright game.
No, it wasn't.
It felt a bit.
There were bright parts, but you had like your very definitive levels that you went through. You had your spaceship level. You had your
like the forest,
the caves. You had the castle.
Like there was like docks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, so I'm thinking, not a Mario tone, because Mario is very happy. I feel like it needs to be a bit grittier than that.
I'm thinking, unlike Mario 64, I'm thinking Captain Comic should be probably more Captain Comic 4K. So
you know what?
It's sort of what?
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking. Maybe this is a game, because I'm just looking at the Wikipedia, and the whole plot was you're trying to find some artifacts.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like a Tomb Raider-esque sort of thing. So
But Space Tomb Raider.
Space Tomb Raider. Like more of that sort of platforming, not like full-on jumping, bouncing on things head platforming.
Yeah.
But you make it a bit more serious, and there's like running leaps and grabbing onto things and sliding down things, and it's more the Tomb Raider style thing. And so you've got your like plasma cannon that later on you get the corkscrew upgrade to, and it just like fires out these great like swirling plasma balls that can go around corners and shit, right? Like if you fire them right, they going in a corkscrew motion, you can hit it around corners and stuff.
I really want to play Space Tomb Raider. That just sounds amazing.
Yeah, well, that in itself. So totally, Captain Comic, Space Tomb Raider. He's looking for these
enemies
artifacts
that you're fighting are literally, they're alien beings. They're not humans like in the latest Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
So
you can do things. You're jumping behind cover, and later on you're fucking teleporting behind them and stabbing them with your corkscrew.
So what I really want is there to be like a overarching sort of story in which you go into all these different worlds trying to find these 5 artifacts, a la like the Fifth Element sort of thing.
Okay.
So you're looking for these 5 artifacts that
so they actually have a
final world.
Yeah, they actually have a purpose. It's not just that they are valuable; they have some sort of purpose.
Yeah,
some sort
and
of
they
function.
happen to be spread throughout this galaxy. So one of the levels you can go to Earth. Maybe that can be one of the first levels, and you're traipsing through a jungle sort of thing.
Okay,
and that's just like the prologue mission. It's just a very quick sort of a la
it's like introducing
Tomb Raider 3 or something like that, introducing the basic mechanics.
Yep,
you find the things, and then you jump in your spaceship. And it's like, it blasts you into space. And it's like, oh, shit. From then on, it's like...
He puts on the classic helmet as he gets into the spaceship. And just like...
You see him from the side, and you can just barely see his features. It's a real purple tinted... purpley tinted glass.
Totally.
It's like, yeah. and the logo just fades in as sort of like Captain Comic. Space Tomb Raider.
So I want to do you end up with a team? Do you meet up with other people? Because you got to, like you said, a bit more story and stuff. So there's got to be relationships that you have and
okay, so you got what?
Love interest.
Captain Comic. navigate a novel. I'm trying to think of other...
And the janitor, Roger Walker.
you just see like the time police turn up at one part.
Yeah. First mate, Frederick. That's the love interest. Well, and also, Captain Comic, maybe you've got some character creation. Like, I don't think it was ever defined that it was a man necessarily.
No.
So Mass Effect style, you can choose.
Yeah, I like that.
And there's romances and other things.
Romances and
space
tomb raiding and
faux femances. I don't know. What do you call it when two women have a platonic but intense relationship?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Anyway, yes. So there's just like, there's in between bits on the ship where you get to like have discussions and work on those romances and stuff. And maybe sort of in Mass Effect style, even though we're sticking with more Tomb Raider gameplay, you get to choose who comes down on missions with you, and they have different abilities and stuff too. So there's some, or even co-op. You can make it co-op.
Oh, co-op Tomb Raider stuff. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you've got like moves you can do where you like work with each other to do cool shit.
and you gotta like when you get down to these planets, you gotta start working out bits and pieces of the language, because it may be totally different alien language to what you're used to.
Yeah, you could have a translator on board. Like it could, and I know the scope of this game is getting broad, but hey, if what else is this fucking podcast for if not to create broadly scoped games? Depending on who you bring down, you can take different paths through the level. So if you bring down your translator, then they can read the alien language and maybe like figure out the code to open the door to the ancient whatever. But otherwise, you have to like fight your way through.
It says press here to raise the bridge to the end. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you can't read that, you never even attempt to press it.
You just can't find it. You can't bumble your way through it. I think that'll about do us.
So yeah,
Captain Comic Space Tomb Raider.
Captain Comic Space Tomb Raider. I don't know if we'll get away with that. They'll probably trademark us on it. Like it's probably trademarked, but that's just what we'll market. We'll market it as subliminally.
STR. Captain Comic
Sexually
STR.
Transmitted
robots.
Yes, I was going to say robot too. Oh my god, this episode. All right. I think we're going to finish it up there. Thank you for joining us on Bitstorm this week. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as Bitstormcast. We've got a Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Bitstorm. We sometimes, when we remember, we haven't done it in weeks, put up a listener click pitch there. I'll try to do it this week. We're on Podchaser. You can now go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm. That's a new feature. If you have a podcast, go and claim your podcast now. You can get your own custom URL.
You can go to iTunes, where you can rate, review, and subscribe to us there. We've got a website, bitstormcast.com. We'd love to plug all the awesome people out there at AGPN, the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. And finally, we'd like to thank Kuridas for the song Man Defiance off of the album Containment Failure.
Yes, we would. And so that does it for Bitstorm this week. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Travis Scott.
Waluigi, why'd you kill Mario?
How about a Borat on a stick? My wife?